Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Mono White Prison with no reserve list cards. You can build this deck for like $500, and it is all about putting your opponent in jail and not letting them get out. Let's talk about how we do that. First, we have lots of disruptive creatures. We've got Leonin Arbiter, which essentially makes your opponents have to pay mana to fetch, which can be a problem when they don't have enough mana to fetch. But we can compound that by also preventing them from searching their library when they're trying to get a land, because we blow up one of their lands with White Orchid Phantom or with Ghost Quarter. So this becomes a pretty powerful lock, and it makes it possible for us to get rid of way more lands than we would normally be able to with just Wasteland alone. And we have Thalia in the deck, and she can tax our opponent as well. And then we have other disruptive cards like Dryad Militant, which makes it harder for our opponent to flow state because they don't have instants and sorceries in their graveyard. And we have Samwise the Stout-Hearted. Love this card. This could also be the new card Night Nurse, but I actually like Samwise the Stout-Hearted better. But basically, he can recur Wastelands or Ghost Quarters from our graveyard. And since we're playing 4 Lotus Petals as a necessary acceleration requirement in Legacy, you just have to be fast. You have to be fast. I think that Lotus Petal is the new Aether Vial, and you just have to play lower curve creatures, frankly, if you want to be able to survive in Legacy today. But we do have one 3-drop creature, Halia, Guided by Light. This is so strong with our main combo in the deck, Guided Souls and Ocelot Pride. So we're going to hope to kill our opponents with lots of cats in terms of disruption. This is anti-combo stuff in Deafening Silence. Not a great card, but necessary, frankly. Leyline of the Void, Disruptor Flute, an actual great card that I think is just insane and so beneficial to Legacy that this card was printed in Modern Horizons 3. And we've got our 4 Plows in the side because we may be able to just out-muscle other creature-based decks, but we do have the 4 Solitudes main, which these are very good against like show and tell strategies and things like that. So we're going to play a full 5 rounds. See you in round 1. Opponent is likely on Omnitel. We have the Ghost Quarter Leonin Arbiter combo. I think this hand's fine. Omnitel is not a great matchup, as you can imagine, but we do have Witch Enchanter, which can blow up Omniscience, and they can respond to the trigger potentially. But I'm not going to be playing this out because I think this will be like a necessary way to save us if they do manage to cast Show and Tell. So the plan is turn 1, Guide. Turn 2, Leonin Arbiter. Turn 3, hopefully Ghost Quarter them. But unless we draw a Petal, we're not going to be Leonin Arbitering them next turn, which is unfortunate because they're a critical turn 3 deck. Thalia should be pretty good because Thalia taxes even Omniscience. We don't have a clear path to like beating them down quickly though. But this is a Grizzly Bear. They fetch. They're on basics. So we definitely don't want to Ghost Quarter until after they have Leonin Arbiter. After we have Leonin Arbiter out, because they'll almost certainly have just a bunch of basics. Also, if you hear kind of a droning noise, my kids are getting their hair dried. Okay, this is another way we can potentially recur this. So I'm going to go ahead and just start by sticking this. So they could have Ancient Tomb and just go for it next turn. They may force this, anticipating trouble down the road. They don't. We'll come in for 1. So we can essentially strip mine them, which is unfair, frankly, but that's how Legacy works. Strip mine is banned in Legacy. It should be banned. It's a broken card. Your basics should be sacred, but Leonin Arbiter is going to give basics no quarter. They are pondering, which means we're very likely to be able to start blowing up their lands next turn. They would need to have a Petal and Ancient Tomb to party. Okay. Land that can't fetch. Love it. All right. Let's show them how it's done. Bye-bye, land. And we got the Caracas, so we can loop this thing. They better force this. All right. I will get my Ghost Quarter back for next turn. I mean, this is just like we're showing exactly what the deck does. This is a beautiful thing. We will make I'll just make the Samwise. I don't want them to bounce either of these out of the play if they have a Caracas somehow in their deck. We'll attack for 3 damage. It's going to take a while, but we're definitely doing good work here. Their Brainstorm locked. No, they're Ponder locked. They could have shuffled their Ponder. Okay. They are paying to fetch. That is allowed. They should have paid. He's preventing from searching from their library. Prevented? Oh, no. Oh, no. They screwed up somehow. That's unfortunate. I really wanted this to be a game, but I mean, they were going to lose anyway. Frankly, we were just going to... This was going to stay in play, actually, and then I was just going to Ghost Quarter it. But yeah, it's unfortunate that they misclicked. The user interface is very confusing around this thing. But we'll take the W's where we can when we're up against a combo deck. So this is just a Disruptor Flute. You don't want to bring in Deafening Silence against Omnitel. Cards that don't matter here. Onslaught Pride creates enough objects that we can survive an Emrakul Strike. If we get Guided Souls and Onslaught, we're not going to do much damage to ourselves. We don't fetch or anything. Yeah, I like our deck configuration a lot. I don't think we need Halia. She's very much like a win more type card here. They may have Flow State. Dryad Militant also gets on the table a lot faster than Halia. Let's do it. So, again, the pedal is in there so you can get the turn 1 Disruptor Flute if you need to, or you can double like threat turn 1 and just kind of up your clock. I think this is a keep. So we have Dryad Militant, Guided Souls into Dryad Militant. We have Solitudes. If they do show and tell a threat in, we can Solitude it. Solitude, you know, it's worth noting Plow can't stop Emrakul, but Solitude can. And if we hit any lands, we're fine. We've got 2 draws basically before we're missing a land drop. And White Orchid Phantom, not great against them, frankly, because they have so many basics. Okay, City of Traders. So they can win as early as next turn. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and play out the Guided Souls because it's the highest value. Dryad Militant, I don't think is going to be that good. Like, when they present this tells me they're probably not even... They may not even be playing Flow State. Okay, that's fine. All right. We partying? Show and tell. Well, I think what I do here is I put in the Arbiter, and then I can cast Solitude. This at least disallows them from shuffling. Yeah. Let's do it. Okay, they have Omni. Not so if I put the Solitude in, it would have just fizzled. What's your play, friend? You got so many options now. Mana Denial is not going to be an issue for you. Ponder. And this is why I was telling you, like, you have to be fast. You have to have Lotus Petal in your deck. Imagine our turn 1 play was Aether Vial. It would do literally nothing. Not that our turn 1 play was particularly impactful, but games are just so fast now. Anybody who used to be playing, like, paper, you got to play on MTGO. You got to get the leagues on here to really understand, like, the competitive aspects of Unite the Coalition. This is a very cool color. You draw 5 cards. So they're on the Unite build. I played this on my channel before. It was a lot of fun, by the way. I played a no reserve list mono blue version. Okay, they're going to Burning Wish. I do have double Solitude. It's possible that they only have like 2 Emrakuls. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your library, then put a card from... Okay. I think we're going to get killed by Unite the Coalition here. We'll see if they have 3. I can Solitude my own creatures to gain life. But they have Force. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, they drew 45 cards. Maybe I should have just go ahead and Solitude before they drew all their forces. Because they certainly have forces. I think I punted pretty hard. Okay, I'll go to 1. There's no way they took out Force. They have to choose all the modes. That's why it's taking them so long. It's a lot of clicks. Oh, actually, yeah, there's no saving myself here. Because it does so much damage, yeah. They had all 4. Okay, cool win con. So Solitude's almost certainly not going to do anything in this matchup. So we have to ask, do we even want it? Or we could play Halia, which actually, does something here. Solitude, I just am not convinced there are any targets. There may be a single Emrakul in the deck. I think I'm going to switch them out. All right. And we'll see. If we get Emrakul, that's sad. We do have a Karakas. This is turn 1 Leonin Arbiter. Turn 2 Thalia. I'm keeping this. This is a Force check hand. And I could absolutely keep Witch Enchanter in hand. But I'm not going to turn down a possibility of stopping one of their fetches. Unfortunately, Legacy, you just have to play quickly. I might draw another land and be able to cast a Disruptor Flute or something later, but Leonin Arbiter is a pretty strong turn 1 play. I mean, Thalia is also a good turn 1 play, but yeah, I'm going to go for the Arbiter here. Okay, and maybe this locks them, maybe they don't even care. That's kind of, it's a capricious card. Sometimes it's absolutely devastating, sometimes it doesn't matter at all. And they had the basic. Okay, they ponder. So the best draw we have is just a land so we can stick the Thalia and then tax their cantrips. And once they get 2 mana out naturally, if they can naturally find a second land, then they can just pay for the tax and start fetching lands out of their deck and pay for the Thalia tax as well. They did not shuffle, so they found a second land, I presume. All right, there we go. So we have to ask, do we want to... No, we definitely want a Thalia here because this makes it so... Okay, yeah, that's great, actually, because now I can play the Disruptor Flute. Actually, I can't cast Disruptor Flute while Thalia's out. Oh. Yeah, I probably should have named Show and Tell. Probably should have just taken a turn to do that. If I naturally draw another land, I'll be a very lucky man. And, yeah, but they can pay for cantrips now. There's a expensive cantrip. If I get Dryad Militant down before they get the Force, then they don't have Flow State. But again, we haven't seen Flow State, but I have to presume there's a good chance they're playing it because it's insane. They're on like practically mono blue, but they are playing Burning Wish. We haven't seen any green, which is often in these decks. Okay, so I'm going to Militant, and then I'll just pay for the Petal, and then I can use the Petal to cast Disruptor Flute. And what I'll do is if they do resolve Show and Tell, I'll probably just name Unite the Coalition so they can't burn me out immediately. It'll take them a few turns. Because that's likely their win con. They may have like a Shatterstorm type effect. And we got 6 damage on the table for next turn. We're still shutting down their searches. I'm feeling okay. There's the Volk. A Braid on our Thalia. That's a bummer. But that's not hitting our Disruptor Flute. And that does mean that we don't need to use the Lotus Petal if we draw something else we want to cast. Or we could have double... I mean... I feel like that it absolutely needs to stay in hand. I think I'm supposed to just name Show and Tell here. And then if they spend a turn clearing this, I can always play out the Witch Enchanter and just cast it. But like this is the critical card their deck has to cast. I don't think they're playing Sneak Attack or anything like that. So that is the choke point. They may be able to get enough mana. They need to just get 3 extra mana. I would have loved to play this out. But again, this is a very good answer to them actually resolving a Sneak Attack or a Show and Tell. Stock up. Okay. And then if I don't draw something really promising, I'll just hold up the second Disruptor Flute in case they're able to clear this first one. Okay, they found a land. So their mana is, piling up there. I'm trying to think of what I would even cast if it meant taking me off Disruptor Flute. I can't think of anything. I think I just need to hold it up. And then in the end step, I can cast a second one. Because they may have a second Abrade, but they're unlikely to have something that wipes both of these. That's a good draw. Huh. Let's think about this. Yeah, I think I'm just supposed to jam it. Okay, let's go across. Again, both of these come into play. So, like, depending... yeah, if they can clear the Thalia, then I'll just Disruptor Flute. But I won't be able to. Yeah, we're just going to hope that we can get there. One more attack is all we need. This being a 2-1 is huge, by the way. The fact that it's a 2-1 for 1 and it has a disruptive ability. Okay, they're abrading that. They're going to 1 here. Burning Wish. We will get to see what they get. They get Show and Tell. Okay. So I'm just going to double up my Show and Tell disruption here. Let's go across. They drop to 2. So now Ancient Tomb's off. They could force to 1. Then they need 1 more mana. I'm just doubling it up. Screw it. Again, they're going to use a lot of resources just surviving the next turn cycle. Yeah, we got it. Round 2 or 1-0, we're up against a likely Ocelot Pride deck. I think this is fine. His hand's not like phenomenal, but it's not bad. One problem is they might be... Yeah, there's the Ocelot Pride. Well, Guided Souls is a pretty good blocker for this. But if they can clear this, they can start going to Cat Town. Love me some cats, man. And believe me, my cat, if she understood what Magic the Gathering was, she would be very excited about this card. The Query, they can use this to eat their Ajani if they find one. That'll be a huge pain in the butt. This card, oh man, this card, holy cow, it's so strong. And it was totally like under the radar for so long. I never heard about it. And then they printed that one guy that like searches your library. Oh, Static Prison. This is going to allow them to get through. Okay, well, that sucks for us. But the good news is Thalia does kind of, well, doesn't do anything, actually. I'm going to blow up this thing. I think I'm supposed to blow up the Query. Then at least I can block the cat. If I Arbiter, get some cat-on-cat violence. I think I Arbiter first. Because this may arbitrarily shut off like one of their fetches to prevent them from getting red. And then next turn, boom. Ghost Quarter and White Orchid Phantom come down, and that will be very messy for them. We have to hope there is a next turn. Like, they have already pulled so far ahead. This will not, serve itself forever. It will eventually give us back our guide. Unless they get like a Ocelot or whatever the dude is. If they have to pay to fetch, that means they don't have on-curve Raptor, which is big for us. Of course, they had another removal spell. They sacrificed a creature. Did you see that? They staple this on every card now. Everything's like a fixing thing. Sorry if I seem like complaining about it. It's just like who cares about colors anymore? Okay, yeah, and this is probably death here because they can sack this next turn. I have to blow this up to survive. They're still in cat country over here. And this is very much like a play draw dynamics type matchup. Dryad Militant doesn't do anything. I mean, I hate to sound doomery, but like I don't really see a path forward. We blow this up, they can't sack it, but like anything that we block, like we block this, it flips it. But it is correct to blow this up so they can't use the ability. I'll just hold the Ghost Quarter. I'll stick a White Orchid and a Dryad. This does suck because it gives them a mountain if they were color screwed. If they get a black source, I'm going to be very reluctant to play out my Dryad Militant, but luckily it is red. This is not a good Thalia matchup. I'll be cutting her for sure for plows. One more turn if they don't have energy, but now that they have red, they could absolutely just Raptor, and then they have energy to keep my guide under the Static Prison. Raptor would be devastating here. They paid out for the very fancy Guru lands. These are like $1,000 in paper now, I think. It's very rare. They're very cool looking. Halia, great card. Allows them to gain life without attacking in, so they get their cat. Also, I think this is the turn that they get the City's Blessing. Well, I've never beaten that card before. I mean, I do have Thalia, but they're going to flip this, then they have... Yeah, this is over. Because they get the Planeswalker. I mean, this is not a premature concession. This game is literally over. Like, we will die. And I wouldn't pardon somebody who's less experienced from Legacy from understanding the extent to which we were cooked. Okay, so Dryad Militant doesn't really do anything here. Thalia does even less. I'm going to cut Thalia. I'm going to cling to the notion that we might be able to win off of waste locking them, even though they play a lot of basics. Not a great matchup, but we're on the play. We're definitely not the predator for this type of deck that our opponent is playing. So this is just... I don't think we actually mulligan. I think we keep this. It doesn't really do anything exciting, but... Oh, actually, I don't even know that we keep this. I think we mulligan this. It's just not sparking joy. Leonin, Arbiter. We put back the Plains. Yeah, and I'm just going to go crazy after their mana. It's a turn 2 Arbiter, but we'll plow their first threat. Yeah, I just have to hope that we can get there with the mana disruption. All right, and this does, like, this path that I've chosen kind of locks me off of, like, I'll probably just waste whatever duel they play if they play a duel instead of playing a Leonin Arbiter, and then I'll play him later. Okay, they fetch. So this might be a basic, but if they get greedy and get a duel, they get a basic. They're too good. They're too conscientious. I don't let that guy live, and I want to be mana efficient here. That guy's the best white creature ever printed, if you haven't heard me say that a million times. Okay, so here, this is just very much like a Wasteland, Arbiter. We did draw Plow, which is a very good card. Unfortunately, they have at least 6 removal spells in their deck, including the Static Prison, so I don't expect Leonin Arbiter to stick around. There we go. Okay, Arid Mace, it just goes and gets a mountain, unfortunately. I think did they show us 2 planes last time? They have a mountain as well, so we're not going to be wasting that. Okay, I have the Plow. Okay, what a rip. Holy cow, that is good. I'm not going to reveal the Ghost Quarter yet. Okay, so they got... Where did they get the energy from? Huh. I thought they got 2 energy... I guess this has only been 2 turn cycles? Yeah, I guess it has. Halia, this gives them life. It doesn't give them energy. So they would have drawn an extra card probably this turn too. It would have been good. Okay, they're going to get a cat. They're doing the same things my deck does, but they don't have the prison plan. And my prison plan just doesn't work on them, sadly. All right. So they do gain a life, and they draw a card, and they get a cat. Crazy. Crazy value. All right. I would like to get some of that value too, deck. Well, this is pretty locked as far as what I'm going to do here. I can't afford a Witch Enchanter here, and that's going to die in 2 turns anyway. I'm going to play this out. I'm going to chill. No, I should plow just in case they have another one coming down. I am going to get rid of this. This way they don't gain life during their turn, because if they had a second cat, they would gain life off that even if they couldn't successfully attack. Little thing that I've learned over the years of playing these cat decks myself. There are some decks where you generally want to use removal on your turn instead of theirs, and the cat deck is one of them. Okay, wow. They're drawing some heaters over there. What else do you have? Oh, that one. Okay. All right, that is a lot of energy to keep their static prison around. Yeah, and I'm not going to be able to... I would like to cut them off red, but I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, they have 2 energy here, so they're probably never going to run out of energy. So I would like to Witch Enchanter and blow that up and then waste them, but unfortunately, unless I draw a land, I'm not going to be able to do that, and I'm not going to... I think I just hit this. Let's just see what this does. It sucks because they may have a land. Okay, they had another one, but they don't have a red source. I'm going to play this out. All right. They can fly over my head and do a lot of damage. I don't have a way to gain life. I can blow this up, though. It doesn't really help, though. But like, it is something that my Witch Enchanter will do if she comes into play. I think she's better held as a creature than just played out as a land. Voice of Victory with Guide of Souls is very tough to beat. I thought about putting this in my deck. I just wanted to go more prison-y. I've got lots of like mono white versions. I think if they attack, I will actually block something here. And then they can use the ability to make a new dude if they want to. This actually, like, blocking here prevents the damage. Yeah, I'm going to block that cat. They can make a new cat. I don't care if they get a Planeswalker. I probably should, but like, I'm not going to be able to keep these at bay forever. Huh, actually, if I take this, they don't get energy. They get energy. Gosh, this just feels completely hopeless. If I block here, I gain life. I take this out. They don't have a red permanent. They will get red permanents next turn. Otherwise, I'm just taking 4. Is that the end of the world? I don't think so. I think I'm not supposed to block. But I don't have good attack, sadly. If I plow the voice, then I can. But I've already used 3 of my plows. It's extremely unlikely. If I drew a Solitude, I'd probably actually use it. Yeah, I'll just let them connect. Life Total is a social construct. I don't need to worry about it. So now, tragically, like, I attack in with Witch Enchanter, or I attack in with Pride, and I do get to create a cat. I think I'm just supposed to play it and chill. I mean, I would like to go to Cat Town, but it just doesn't seem like it's in the cards. I'm not going to sacrifice an Ocelot Pride to get a different cat. Now they can't attack with Johnny because I can double blocker him. Very clearly a him with those huge pecs. Halia. That is a lot of life that my opponent's about to gain. You know what? I just think there's no hope, and I don't want to waste your time. I think we're like sub 5% to win. Round 3, we're 1-1, putting people in prison, and we can do it again this time. We can actually do a turn 1, but we're on the draw. I like this hand. It's got redundant Thalia, but I think it's chill. Unknown opponent. Let's keep it. Urza's Saga. Well, at least we can deny them the search. What are they likely on? They've got the Emrakul logo over here. They've got a Japanese name. Like, not to profile people too hard, but like, show and tell is like a national pastime in Japan. Okay, so this could be Leonin Arbiter and Dryad Militant. I don't think these petals are going to get much better. We could Thalia Dryad Militant. I kind of think like Leonin Arbiter, like the odds of them playing fetches are so low, but Arbiter does shut off this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I think I'm going to go Thalia and Dryad Militant, and then I'll just play the Arbiter next turn. I'm just trying to think if they're on like lands, why would they have this? What are they on? So the only deck I know that plays Bauble and Urza Saga would be Affinity, but like Affinity wouldn't pass the turn doing so little. I do think Thalia is good against Affinity, and it's better than Leonin Arbiter. I also think that if they happen to be... let's go ahead and do this first. I should have Dryad Militant in because I could have kept a Force out of their yard, but yeah. All right, we're doing stuff fast. Again, we're card disadvantaging ourselves, but that's the nature of Legacy. If you want to play, like... If you look at my black deck, it card disadvantages itself too. You have to, like... get your cards on the table before the game ends. But Arbiter will come down and prevent the search. They're going to get a construct here. What else do they have? Fleshraker, Mino Likey. Luckily, Thalia has first strike, and I'll happily trade this Dryad Militant for that if they want to block. All right, Guide of Souls. I do want to deny them the draw or the search. I'm just going to go for their life total. They're likely an Ancient Tomb deck here. They let it through. After Leon and Arbiter does his job for denying them the search, we could trade off with Glaring Fleshraker if they decide to attack, just to reduce their material. I would have loved to have jammed a Guide of Souls. I really wish this were in our opening hand. We'd be hitting them for 3 in the air every turn, but it wasn't to me. This might be a Chalice deck, which could be a problem. All right, I think they're going to pay. Okay. You don't have to search. I am kind of worried that it's like a card deck or something like that. Grim Monolith, okay. We'll lose life. They get a spawn. If they have a key, they have just 1 ring and like all kinds of nasty stuff. They have another Urza Saga. Buy a City of Traders. Okay, what do you have? 1 ring? Another Fleshraker. This is where Dreams Go to Die. Like, we're going to get pinged so hard every time they have any sort of colorless spell that they can cast. I'm just going to keep attacking with everything here. Gosh, don't be... This could be like a bobble. It could be anything. It is the key. Okay, well, the good news is they don't have a lot of cards in the hand, but the bad news is they have so much mana. We can't imprison a deck that has access to key and... yeah. Okay, I'm just going to F6 through the turns. Too many triggers. They can sacrifice a spawn, untap, and then they've got 2 more cards in their grip. And K-Command at this point is basically death. Like, the way K-Command... It's crazy they printed K-Command and Glaring Fleshraker in the same set. They were just like, hey, we want to wreck Legacy with 1 deck in 1 set, and they did it. Tezzeret also untaps the Grim Monolith and searches for yet another color spell so they can ping us for another 4 or whatever it does every turn cycle. It's crazy. This is the best deck in Vintage for a reason. Fleshraker is the reason. Okay? Casual 3, like Lightning Bolting Pithy Needle. Or it's like a Lava Spike. Or a Lava Axe or whatever. I don't remember what the one that does 5 damage. Okay, your hand is empty. Or you're going to search with Tezzeret, right? Did they already do that? Okay. Okay, yeah, they're just going to search and they're going to ping us again. Is this lethal? How much does it do? They cast a spell. What do they get? Oh, they can't search. Gotcha. All right. Pyrrhic Victory. Okay, well, Guide of Souls. And I'm going to play another Guide of Souls. So I gain a life. Haha. Undoing all that hard work that you did there. Hopefully you brick and just draw a land. But they have a giant robot on the way, and this is unblockability on their giant robot. So I'm not feeling too likely that we're going to win here. I think we do need to kill Tez. And I think like the Thalia ability is not that big of a deal. I should attack Tez. They can just burn us out next turn. They can create a giant construct. We have like extremely low odds of winning. But... So I think I keep this back and then I double block. Yeah, let's just try to kill Tez. I don't think we're not going for their life total at this point. What we're trying to do is just get something going where we're gaining a ton of life and we can outstrip their double Fleshraker nonsense. Yeah, they're just sacrificing a single guy. That's fine. I had no illusions we were going to actually accomplish anything there. They have like 9 mana. Let's see. So this untaps. They can just untap with this. I mean, it's crazy that this is 3 mana and Grim Monolith. It's even crazier that they printed this given that Vintage, and I'm not sure, I think it is restricted to Vintage now. I don't follow Vintage because it's like the polar opposite of like what I like, which is interaction and fun. And like games of skill. It just seems like it's a bunch of variants. Like, oh, I drew my one of Black Lotus. I win. Not my cup of tea. But again, I'm not trying to yuck other people's yum. It's just not for me. Fantastic car. Well, that's beautiful. And I'll lose... How much life? Do I lose 3 life here? Ouch. So wait, whenever another colorless creature you control enters... Okay. 1, 2, 3. And then this... Okay. I guess I still, after all these years, don't understand why these do so much damage. But I guess the spawns enter too. And those count. So it's like 2 manage... I don't know. Who thought this was like a balanced card? Okay, they can't search. No, they can just pay mana to search. They've got these. Go search for a 1-drop and kill me. I'm not going to wait around for them to figure it out. We lost. I will give my opponent the benefit of the doubt that they got me. Okay. So here, Deafening Silence is pretty crappy against their deck. Like, it can stop some of their more degenerate lines. I don't think it's good enough. Disruptor Flute is good, though. Plow. They probably only have those Fleshrakers in the deck. That's probably their only creatures. So it does feel bad to bring in Plow. Dryad Militant does almost nothing. It's just a cheap beater. I don't think we want it. So we still have the Ocelot Pride, Guide of Souls, Halia combo. We've got Wasteland Recursion. We blow up their lands, and there's a good chance they don't have basics. I like this. I think we're actually reasonably well positioned against their deck, as far as positioned as a $500 deck can be against like a $10,000 deck. I don't know how much their deck costs. I know it's got City of Traders, which is like $500, $600, and then it's got Grim Monolith, which is like $1,000. So it may only be like a $5,000 or $10,000 or $5,000 or $6,000 deck. I don't know. I don't own any of these cards, by the way. Like, I don't own any of those like reserve list. The only reserve list cards I think I own right now are literally like a couple null rods and the dual lands, if anybody's curious. All right. Game 2. Let's get a heater hand. Come on. It's not good enough. I'm playing very few lands, deck. You're not supposed to do that to me. Okay. This is Guide. Oh, this is Halia. Petal. Guide. That's an extra card. Then we have Thalia for the subsequent turn. I think that's worth it because we get double threats down. Well, this goes away, but we still have the Guide. Let's think about this. The other option is we just Thalia. We have to put a card back. The card that is going to go back is going to be the Solitude. Yeah, I think I like the Halia line because we get a card deeper. We gain a little bit of life, which might matter. Halia is still in exile where we can cast her later. The other option is just turn 1 Thalia, which stops. Yeah, I think we're actually supposed to turn 1 Thalia. As much as I would like the Halia, because that disrupts in a meaningful way. We could just put the Petal back. I don't think we're going to need the Solitude. We might very much need it, though. I'm torn. Well, we're definitely keeping this. Let's see, we gain 3 life. We get a card. We have a Guide of Souls on the table. I think it's worth doing. There's a decent chance they just open with Urza Saga. I don't know. Actually, I think it's fine to just turn 1 Thalia and then turn 2 can be Guide and then we waste them. We're almost certainly going to be able to waste them here. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I want to disrupt. Like, Halia is cool. Don't get me wrong. We can play her out once the Guide's out. I need to slow the roll. This is a way of doing it. Thalia, the only thing she affects is literally the Lotus Petals. That's it. And, oh yeah. We're definitely wasting that. Okay, they pay for a Petal. All right. Well, they probably would have done that anyway. All right. Plains. Not a bad rip. I'll play on my Guide. Attack for 2. So this is like the fairest of the fair decks that we're playing over here. And our opponent is just going to try to cheat on mana to get to crazy stuff. But again, we have a lot of good cards that we could draw here that basically have the text strip mine on them against our opponent. All right, this is our chance to draw something that one of our 12 Wasteland effects we don't get there. I'm thinking about just Haliaing here, but I think I'm supposed to wait just in case I draw something that does something here. I'll just attack for 3 and pass. Yeah, I guess I could warp her and then just play her next turn, and then I at least gained a life and an energy. Yeah, I think that's better than just waiting with her in my hand in case I brick. This way, if they do have Thought here, which is unlikely, then at least, yeah, I gain 2 life. Get an energy. She warps out. So far, I'm very happy with how this game's gone. Drawing the 3rd land was sad, though. Because, again, I'm playing so few lands. And you'll notice, like, a lot of my recent decks have just been, like I played a mono black deck the other day that had 15 lands. Okay, so they have Saga Constructs, unfortunately. Thalia can't do much to stop that. All right, let's draw something that matters. That matters. That definitely matters. Okay, I'm going to make them make this. Unfortunately, it will not stop the City of Traders, but it will stop the search. They only get 1 dude. They get a dude. They get a land, which I don't think they have a basic waste in their deck. And I get 1 more attack with Thalia. They do have a basic plains. All right. Well, next turn I can warp in Halia. And then I gain a life. And I also get energy so I can start flying over with my aerial squad. And hopefully that'll be fast enough. But they have 4 mana. That City of Traders doing a lot of work over there. It's probably going to go bye-bye soon. They do have the Fleshraker, but, you know, it came out pretty late, and I have exhausted my hand. So if I was just chilling with the Solitude, it'd be a feel bad. All right. They actually have 2 planes in their deck. They're playing an unconventional list, so I have to give them credit for that. If they're playing a boring, you know, mud deck, at least they're playing an unconventional one. And I'm all about, like, respecting brewers. All right, they started to tap. They passed. Halia is so good. Oh, is this better? No. There's nothing better than jamming a 3/3 that gains you life and gives one of your other creatures flight. These are all very good things. All right. So this is definitely attacking. I think we're supposed to... I mean, we could actually attack with all these. I don't think they can blow us out. They don't have... Like, they could... Okay, they could have, like, the artifact. No, they can't pay for it. Yeah, I'm going to attack all. And I'll just give the guide itself the buff. They don't have life gain in their deck, to my knowledge. So they could double block here. They choose not to. They drop to 6. Okay, not bad. They're dead on board. And they're not dead on board in the air. I didn't gain enough life to draw. They're not quite dead on board in the air. I think the planes inclusion in the deck is pretty savvy. They probably got Plow. What else do they have in there? Static Prison. I mean, that makes sense. Probably going to grab my guide. I mean, that's fine too, but you're dying in the air. Okay, pedal. Okay. Yeah, are you just going to go crazy here? I mean, you can just lose from nothing with Glaring Fleshraker. It is frustrating, but we'll see what happens. Like, I'm so far ahead, 24 life, but I wouldn't be surprised if they can string together a win from here. Construct's now at 3/3. So Halia can't get through anymore. They don't have the mana to cast K command, but if they play one more spell, they could. Okay, Grim Monolith. I'll take another ping. Now they have the mana to K command my guide, which will dramatically slow my victory. They have Tez. So I'm punished for not playing out Leon on Arbiter. But I think that it was correct to play Halia here, but maybe it was correct to play Leon and Arbiter instead, because that would shut off the search. What can they get? Oh, they just untap, so it wouldn't have mattered. They've got 2 more cards in hand. They have to clear my creatures. That's what they have to do. Another Static Prison. That's fine. How are they getting energy? Is what I want to know. Uh-oh. Mystic Forge. So we're dead? You're telling me we're dead? I'm pretty sure Mystic Forge with Glaring Fleshraker just equals death. I mean, like, they exile a card. They're at 5. Okay. Well, I will swing in with Halia. Guide, Leon, and Arbiter. Let's do it. Always yield. And then we're going to get a card off Halia, which is pretty sweet. Only if she lives. So I think I do need to let her live. I was thinking about swinging in just to reduce their material. But they could just trade with the construct. I have to go for the life total and just ignore Tez. His -7 ability is good. I have plenty of blockers. It's a force block if we attack with Halia. But she gives me a card, and she's a blocker herself. I think we're supposed to wait a turn cycle. I mean, they're likely to just block with the spawn, and it does reduce their total mana. I'm probably not even going to get another turn, and if I do, yeah, let's do it. Leave a comment if you strongly disagree with this attack. I think there's a decent chance they just chump, and then I still get the card. They do take the trade. Okay. They think better of it. Yep. And so I'm going to get the spawn. This all worked out great. I kill the spawn. I get a card in the end step because I've gained 3 life. They can no longer search their library, which would be like a pain-free way of clearing the top of their deck. Yeah, I get a Thalia. That might be good. Static Prison ticks down to 1. They're going to need more energy. Or just ticks down to 2. Yeah, it's going to take, like, those will be active until the end of the game. This is a really cool card. I actually like it a lot. Because it forces you to, like, it does have a downside, but obviously in, like, a tempo type deck, it's quite good. And it's extremely flexible. It's any permanent that's on land. I could easily just get, like, domed to death here with Fleshraker, especially if they find a second one. Okay, Hamlet probably just names Wasteland. Or, yeah, probably just Wasteland. All right, they're adding 1 mana. What's on top of your deck? Hopefully it's a land. Sack of spawn. Okay, they're paying to search. That's a pain-free way to change the composition of their deck so that they can potentially Mystic Forge. And if they're looking at like what they can do, no, there's no benefit. There's no way to activate like right now. They can look at the top card right now, but there's a search trigger on the deck, but this deck's still the same way as it was before they searched. Yeah, like literally everything in this game has gone perfect for me in terms of lining up against my opponent. They get a Mox that does damage, it creates another spawn. So if I draw another creature that's 1 mana, I have them dead to Guided Souls in the air. Bobble comes in, I'll take some more damage. They can draw, and if they find a K command, they do have the colorless off spawns. There's F6 here. Clock shouldn't be an issue. My network has been way better. I don't know. I'm not actually sure if I'm going to publish the video, but there was a video where I was just doing so well, and then my freaking internet just stopped working, basically. And yeah, it was tragic. Okay. Fantastic car. Oh, okay. So we're going to die? Is this how we're going to die? They've already cast 3 non-creature spells, right? Yeah, because they cast Opal, Bobble Bobble, so next turn, this will be an issue. Okay, they have a second Fleshraker, so now this is how we died in game 1, if you recall. How lucky are you going to get? How many 0-drops do you have on top? Surely at some point you're going to break. They haven't even tapped their Mystic Forge, but if they do tap it, then they just died out Orchid. If they can play a non-creature spell during their turn, then they can turn this into a flying 4/4. No, yeah, it does have flying. Okay, of course. It's a fantastic card. Why wouldn't it fly? I am actually kind of tempted to like block this construct. It can't be correct though. Okay, and they choose not to attack. All right, so the game is about them cracking the Fantastic Car, which is a very real possibility here. Come on, just draw a creature, 1-drop. Ah, actually, I don't think we can win anymore. We stick Dahlia, but like they're gonna have the Fantastic Car, and whenever they cast anything, basically, it's going to be death. Like, this was so close. I could just play this out, but like I'm not. It's unclear what it would even name. They have a lot of mana. You can't name the Fantastic Car. It's not an activated ability. It's just a triggered ability. You can name Mystic Forge, but that doesn't do anything. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I'll gain 2 life. It's not nothing. I don't think I'm missing some line. I think it's as simple as attack with White Orchid, Phantom, and pass, and hope that I've disrupted them sufficiently, but I seriously doubt I have. If they have K command, they can turn this into a creature, and then we lose it, and we'll lose the game. But if they find K command, I think that's the game anyway, because we'll take so much damage. F6. Do your worst, opponent. I did my best. Target me with a bobble. So they're going to get another card, so they're going to have like 3 cards in hand. I think it's extremely likely that they crack Fantastic Card now. I can't stand this card. If you haven't noticed, I am not a fan of this card. I actually would argue that this is the most offensive, poorly designed card we've seen yet. And I want to stress yet, because I think there's more slop in the pipes. And that is a very intentional reference to the slop copy pasta tweet thing that Pokemoki tweeted out a while back. The very divisive rant that he went off. Okay, Manifold Key. I take a bunch of damage. I take 4 damage, 5 damage from this. I don't even know. And then Fantastic Car. Do you have the Fantastic Car or not? Just let me know whether I'm dead. I'm at exactly 16 now. They can search. They have to pay. Just go get a Mox or whatever. They can't activate Mystic Forge. If they have a land on top of their deck, what is this? Okay. They can just search and go get a Mox, right? How many spells have they cast? No, they already upped this. I don't know. I haven't played. Yeah. Okay. The One Ring. Okay. So this allows them to draw, but if they draw, they die. I take a bunch of damage. They haven't yet popped Fantastic Car through some miracle, but I'm so dead. Not even sure how I survive here, but if I draw, so I can, yeah, what are they going to do? They should just tap the One Ring now and see if they can draw a card that gives them Fantastic Car. They can see their top card, and now they can see the card underneath it. They're going to die to their own One Ring. Come on, let there be justice in the world. Let them have 2 lands in a row or something. Also, we get these back next turn. Like this would be like a big turn for us. Is that not the 4th one? Okay. All right, so they're sacrificing these, which means they probably have something on top that's going to crack it. Okay. Good games. Whatever. Sorry, they weren't good games. That was boring as hell. All right, back for some more colorless action against likely Eldrazi player. It's turn 1. Okay, let's think about this. So we Halia off pedal. Then we pedal Wasteland, Arbiter. I mean, this is good against... Yeah, I mean, this is good against if they are on something that searches their deck. If they aren't, then like we just wasted a bunch of time. We're set up for White Orchid Phantom, but I don't think this is good enough, frankly. I don't like the instability in these Lotus Petals. I think it's better. Slower, but like I think we just openly in our Arbiter. And then we have Samwise. Samwise would be good to get the pedal back. I'm just going to hope we draw a Wasteland off this. I think Dryad Militant probably doesn't do a lot in this matchup. If they're on Eldrazi, that's what they've been playing. I'm just going to... And then sometimes I'm wrong. Then they're just on like Delver or whatever, and I just threw away 2 perfectly good hands. But yeah. I'm going to go ahead and chance this. The other option is I could just Samwise and just get the pedal back. I think that's fine. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. And then we've got something on the table that can attack. I can just play this out again, just in case they are on like some sort of prison thing. I doubt they're going to target that. Okay. I mean, I guess I could draw Halia, and then like I would be sad that I played that out because I wouldn't get the life and I wouldn't get the second card. There is an argument for that. Okay, Street Wraith. So they're on Doomsday or Vroomsday or whatever. Oh, Badlands. Okay, this is not Doomsday. Good. I don't want to play against Doomsday. I don't want to play against Carr. They're on some sort of graveyard strategy. Blazing Root Wallet. Okay, they're on Madness. That is okay. Just don't tell me that they've put Carr into this deck. Please don't put Carr into this deck. Now, these are creatures, and as I discovered recently, famously, and one of my biggest punts of all time, Carr doesn't pop unless it's for non-creature spells. So you wouldn't want to play this in a Carr deck. Hollow One. Okay, that's a big card. Big creature. I do have an answer. Solitude. Oh, they have a second one. Okay, well, things are getting a little bit scarier. And this is what, like, when I say Legacy's fast, this is what I mean. Okay, so Lion's Eye Diamond, they may have, like, that thing that, like, just refills their hand. All right, let's see what we draw. Again, if it's... Oh, another Leonin Arbiter. I don't think it's a great card, but... Can I attack in? This could trade. I don't think I have a good attack. I could double block one. I think I probably have to do that, sadly. And then Solitude another. We just have to survive, basically. Yeah, this is not like a good matchup. But we did... If they have a fetch, we've shut that off. I guess I could use their LED to pay for it. Faithless Looting. Okay. I haven't played against this type of deck in a long time. It's cool, though. This is something where having the green-white creature would have been good. Okay. Anji's Ravager. This is what I'm talking about. This card is so powerful. So they cast it. This refills their hand, and I have to kill this thing. Okay. This creature attacks each combat if able. Okay, so we're going to discard... We're going to Solitude this. Okay. This has to happen. I mean, there are lots of other things I would like to kill, but I think our opponent getting 3 free cards is going to be a higher priority than taking out one of these dudes. So they have nothing going on. We just have to survive. They do have Flashback, but they only have 1 land. So I'm going to trade with the Hollow One. I realize that completely means we're doing nothing, but like frankly, we can't not do that. We'll hope to draw. I don't even know what we can draw, but we're giving ourselves probably an extra turn or 2 by making this trade. We weren't going to beat them down before they beat us down. Let's see what we draw. Not promising, but I'm going to play it out and we'll pass. We've got maybe 2 turns. Putrid Imp's now a 2/2. I don't... Well, yeah, I have Leyline. I'll just bring in Leyline. I think that's probably good. I don't actually know how good Leyline is, but it's probably worth bringing it in. So we're taking 9. Okay. We're going to be at 4. So even if we draw Ocelot Pride, I think we're dead. Actually, if we drew the one that blows up an artifact or an enchantment, that would be really good here. White Orchid Phantom. This doesn't keep us alive, does it? No, because they have... yeah. I shouldn't have even shown them that because we're just deterministically dead. So I will scoop. Okay. All right. Does Leyline of the Void do anything? I don't think it does against Madness. I do want to bring in these plows. That is very important. I don't know how impactful Leonin Arbiter is going to be. I don't think they searched their library any more than any other deck. Thalia doesn't seem good. Most of their spells are creatures. I'm going to cut her. I do like Halia because we need to gain life to like basically recover. Samwise is fine. Yeah, I just don't think we're supposed to bring in Leyline. Leyline is really for like the Hogak style decks. And our opponent could be playing Hogak, but I don't think they are. Deafening Silence only stops non-creature. It's not relevant here, in case you're wondering why I'm not bringing that in. Disperper Flute, it's not clear what we name. Let's do. So we're still basically queuing very close to the deck's intended, behavior. This is not a keep, unfortunately. Don't even look at like your 7 card, no lands. You'll always be wistful. So this is Solitude. I like Dryad Militant. Okay, so Plains, Halia, Lotus Petal, gain a life. Dryad Militant, gain a life, draw a card. That's something we can do. I think the card that goes here is Witch Enchanter because it's slower. No, or it could be the Plains. I think it's the Plains. And then we have the option of playing at the Witch Enchanter. Yeah, I'm going to put back the Plains. Because Witch Enchanter could also fuel a Solitude. Again, we are going to get a card off Halia. And we are going to be able to disrupt them a little bit with Dryad Militant. It's not like a huge amount of disruption, but it's not nothing. So she sees herself. That's a life gain. Petal comes in. That's a life gain. White mana. I love this card so much. I think she's one of the best designed creatures in terms of just being fun and cerebral. I like games of Magic that involve a lot of thought and planning and sequencing. And I mean, this deck feels almost like we're playing a Pauper deck in terms of the way it plays. But Halia is one card that definitely feels like a legacy card in terms of just the complexity. Okay, so they are playing some fetches. This is a really sweet looking wooded foothills. They get a basic mountain. Okay, running Mako. I have no idea what a Mako is or a Mako. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, put them in +1/+1. I mean, that seems pretty good. It's a good card. It's a 1/1 though. Okay, and by the way, our draw for the turn was Witch Enchanter. I didn't call that out. Not a great draw, but it is a mana source. Guide of Souls is phenomenal. I think I'm supposed to guide. And then I think I'm just going to play the Witch Enchanter tapped, because then I have the option of playing Halia out next turn. I do think I'm supposed to attack here. And if they want to trade, that's fine with me. But we're not going to win by being demure. Oh, they do have a Street Wraith, so they can grow this, but it still trades. They pay 2 life for the privilege. Is that just going to do, just do that to... Oh, they have another one. Okay, so now I think I am supposed to probably Solitude this. Which sucks, because I would like to Solitude something more impactful, like the Ajani thing, but yeah, I'll just do this now. They don't gain the life. They gain 2 life, but they don't gain enough. And I do get a life myself. They gain 2 life. And again, we didn't need to do that if we hadn't attacked. So you could definitely argue that it was a mistake to do that. We got 5 cards over there. We got no hand. Halia on deck if we find a land. Nothing else going on. They don't have a lot of mana though, but that's because they're just entering their second turn. Another Mako. There was a car repair shop called Mako back in the day. Okay, so this goes into exile. We're gonna get 3 cards. They all go into exile. They hit Basqualas. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for random cards off the top of your deck. They have 8 of those, and they hit 2 of them. So now they've got quite a board presence. I think their deck doesn't work without LED, but I would like to play something like this at some point in the future, but I'm not going to play it with it. Obviously, if I can't make it no reserve list, it's not worth my while, frankly, to play these types of decks. Because I want to feature stuff that's accessible. Okay, I mean, Plow is not bad. I think we just pass and see what they do, and we have Plow up. But we obviously don't have good attacks. They don't have green to buff the Root Walla, notably. I will trade this off, but I'm not going to trade off my guide. All right, we do have to go ahead and hit this now, sadly. The good news is if they're finding, they found another Basking with Root Walla. I was going to say, the good news is if they're finding Faithless Looting, it gets exiled. And in fact, yeah, that's what happened. A Faithless Looting got exiled. Another Burning... Okay. Well, it's a good thing we got rid of... Oh, they found a Johnny's Ravager. They don't have the mana for him. That's good. So he goes to the discard. He's the scariest thing in their deck, by the way. Okay. And, okay. Their graveyard actually isn't that big, thanks to Dryad Militant. So they're just attacking with Hollow One. I'm not going to chump. This has been good. It's been performing a passive ability. We don't have good attacks. We need to break free somehow. That's a good rip. So we're just going to pass, and we'll plow the hollow one, most likely, when it goes to combat. 2 cards in the grip over there. Faithless Looting gets exiled. If they find a Johnny's Ravager, they can't cast it this turn because they don't have enough mana. Vengevine, that's absolutely terrifying. When you cast a spell, if it's the second creature cast this turn, that is absolutely troubling. That is terrifying. I haven't seen that card in a long time. I'd forgotten about it. Okay, so I am going to plow and I'm going to trade. I don't want to take damage. Should I trade here? I think I'm supposed to. Because this will just be like 3 damage every turn, basically. It's done a great job. Good job, Dryad Militant. I couldn't remember your name earlier. I'm kind of embarrassed about it. Leon and Arbiter. Right, well, you'll do until we find something better. They're still locked out of green. So if they manage to cast 2 of their... they have 5 left in their deck. 2 of their 0-drop things. Pass the turn. Isn't that what like Bashan always chants? Pass the turn. Pass the turn. And because I always watch everything on double speed, it's like, pass the turn, pass the turn. It's like really fast. And that'll be 4x if you're watching me double speed. All right, come on, give me a land so I can pick my... Oh, okay, I'm not going to complain about that. All right, let's go in. And now we may be able to outscale them. I actually should have put this on the Arbiter. But, yeah. I mean, this is definitely more important. But if they draw like a bolt, they can kill either of them. So, yeah. All right, and I guess I could have attacked with that too. Yeah, I think I could have got an extra damage there. I think I misplayed. Peter Dimp. That's 1 spell. Don't have another one or else the Vengevines come out. I told you not to have another one. Okay, so I think we're in serious trouble here. I can block 1. The other option is to just ignore it. Because this is keeping the smaller creatures back. Just take 8. They can only kill 1 if I block. No, with 4 power they can kill both. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to take it. Let's Halia. Halia would be insane. Just give me a land and I can play a Halia out. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that, Halia. If we gain some life, get some energy. I don't think I'm supposed to attack. No, I am supposed to attack because I'm definitely not blocking with this. I just have to survive a couple turns. So we gain 4 life there. That's not too shabby and we get an extra card. I think I am supposed to attack with Guided Souls because I'm no, I'll keep it back. Because it can block like a lot of stuff, and we're definitely the control deck. We're just trying to survive a couple turns. If we draw a land, we've got double Halia coming out, and that will probably keep us alive. Plow would be a great draw. Okay, they are just discarding something. Wait, what are they doing? Why play this now? You can play this during your turn, and you can get your dudes back. I guess they're planning to attack me with this. Okay. We drew a Wasteland. That does allow us to Halia. So we'll take a ton of damage here. But we're going to Halia, and then we're going to be able to buff up one of our guards, and we'll have Halia out, and she will trade with the Vengevine. And our opponent only has 1 card. And we'll get another card when we cast the Halia. So it's a 2-for-1. So I'll take this damage, and I'm just going to make my board even wider than theirs. Okay, another Mako. That's their last card. See if we draw. Plow would be great, but... Okay, I mean... Yeah, I'll just hold the Wasteland for later. Okay, so we'll gain like a ton of life here. It's not a ton, it's 3. Right? The next turn we can do the same thing, so I'll definitely be chumping. I think I'm supposed to attack with the Guide. I attack with Leon and Arbiter. Leon and Arbiter is less important. I'll just attack with the Guide. Wait, if I attack with this Guide again, it gets flight, but it gets big enough to block one of those. Yeah, I'm just going to attack like this. Because I'll never want to trade these off. But I'll happily trade off Arbiter at this point. If I'm getting like a 1-for-1. Okay. It's a great game so far. It's a cool matchup. Vengevine is a deep cut. I haven't seen that in a while. All right, so we get our card. So we have kind of an engine online. Plains. Well, that's not exciting. I can waste their Badlands next turn, which might restrict some of their optionality. It's probably not that big of a deal. Okay. Now it probably doesn't do a damn thing. They can pay to fetch... So I will be trading with the Vengevine when they attack here. They should probably attack everything. I think they're being too demure. They're thinking about it. I would just turn more stuff sideways. Like that Blazing Ruwala, that should go sideways. No, not necessarily because I have the untapped Guide that'll eat one of these. The Halia is spoken for. She's going to die anyway when I bring this out of Warp next turn. All right, so I will block. Thank you for your service, Halia. Man, what a sweet card. All right, we're at 8. I think we're out of the danger zone. I could be wrong. Okay, I mean, it's not a total brick. But we can't do anything with it. So here, I am going to go ahead and just waste here. And this is their chance to fetch if they want to fetch. Okay, they are doing it. Actually, I could have leaned in Arbiter a second time and maybe they would have done that. Yeah, but I need to get Halia out. Like, I don't really think that that's a good option. Halia comes out. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just attack with Arbiter after I get my 3 life. They said MTGO tricked me. Lol. Oh, wow, they got tricked. Yeah, it's just a confusing interface. But like the fact that 2 people have not managed to do it, like, does say that the user experience is bad. I think I'm supposed to go ahead and attack and level this up. There might be a way that they can get 2 cards next turn. Okay, so they're taking 4. They're at 11. Like, we're actually... Are we alpha striking them next turn? We'll gain 2. If we get 1 more creature, then we could alpha strike them. Okay, Petal actually doesn't help us, but it gains life. See if we're dead. I think maybe that punt of them not being able to fetch will be consequential, depending on what they drew. Because they were not going to have mana to deploy Angie's Ravager, for example. I think I have to let Vigivide through. Okay, they're attacking all. So this can buff. So let's think about what we absolutely have to block here. First of all, I don't think they have instant speed discard. So this is definitely a candidate. So I need to keep these alive. I do think we block this. And we block this, which gives them the ability to discard. And do we let the Vengevine through? If we let everything through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're dead if we let everything through. We definitely need to... I think I'm going to block the Vengevine. And I'm going to block... So this will take out Vengevine. These guys are more important. Guide can block this. And Guide can block this, I think. They can grow it, but like I don't want it to grow and become like a serious game piece. They could redeploy Vengevine, but it's not going to be able to attack till next turn. Okay. We survived. We take 5. We're at 6. Next turn, we lean in Arbiter, and we attack for a lot. And they're at like 1. And I don't think they'll be able to win. Okay, Plow basically cements us as surviving. Okay, I think I'm just going to attack with... Maybe... This can't block. I'm just going to attack with 1, and then I'll kill him next turn. I just don't want to die. Because we can't kill him this turn. Right? Yeah, we have 10. So we'll just attack him to 8. And then next turn, we'll kill him. And I could have been maybe less conservative there and maybe let the Vengevine connect. But now I feel confident that like I can plow and survive. Yeah. Okay, my opponent agrees. I've got 8 minutes. I didn't see anything that needs to be changed. We're just hoping they don't, completely wreck us. Leyline I don't think is good enough. Leyline doesn't stop madness. This is fine. This is life gain. Solitude's good. A Wasteland might be clutch, depending on their mana. Burning Inquiry. Yeah, I'll just let it happen. Okay, they got rid of my Solitude, and they got 2 cards, but they can only cast 1, thankfully. A Johnny's Ravager being the best card in their deck by far. Okay, we lost our land. That sucks. I am going to be playing out this Witch Enchanter to deploy my Guide. I don't think they're playing Wasteland. We haven't seen it, have we? Okay, they get a creature. Okay, so we have to ouchie, which sucks. But it is correct. I need to get this Guide on the table and start gaining life. No interaction. I'll just F6 through their turn. Please don't kill me. It really sucks that I had to use my land like that, by the way. A Burning Inquiry does not discriminate between land and non-land. I will not be interacting with that. Okay, yeah, you can do 2 extra damage. I'm already at 14. Okay, they fetch. Hopefully this is a duel that I can waste. It is. Basking Root Walla. So wasting that off them keeps them from green. That's a pretty sweet pickup. Let's think about this. So, I can waste and get the Wasteland back. Or I can just straight up Halia. And I don't gain enough life to draw a card. I want to keep the Plow up if possible. It's probably like the most important decision of this game is what I do right here. Okay, so if I do Wasteland, waste them, and then just buy it back, I think that's probably okay. Because that chokes them on mana and keeps them farther away from Ravagering me. And they probably do have more basics in their deck. And I'll have a land drop for next turn. So we'll do that. Now we'll do this. Same wise, we'll get the Wasteland back. Although it is tempting to also get the Petal back. But I'm just going to get the Wasteland here. And then next turn I have Wasteland and a Plow potentially. I will put it on the guide. I'll put it on Samwise just in case they have Crocus. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Okay. I will pass. Again, I'm kind of worried about clock at this point. It's probably not a big deal. Famous last words. I've just been thinking really hard because I haven't played against this deck in a long time. Commenting, and I'm getting a little bit of lag from the Great Firewall. Burning Inquiry. They do find it, so Wasteland was absolutely critical there, denying them the Angie's Ravager. Anjay, I have no idea how it's pronounced. They do get a Root Walla. They fetch. So we did get a Plains here. So, but we lost the Wasteland. But it doesn't matter. Okay, they have a Faithless Looting. They find another one. Okay. And they get a Vengevine. Okay. I see how it is. So, declare blockers. Just that. Okay, yeah. I'm not going to block that. I'm going to plow it. Okay, so I think we warp. That gains us 2 life. Now we Petal. That gains us the other life. And then I'll just wait till their turn and I'll plow. And then I'll save the White Orchid Phantom for later. If they let us keep it. They may just make us discard it. Huh, is that wrong? I think that actually was wrong. I think I was supposed to play out the White Orchid Phantom. I actually punted. Even though there's no target, it would have given us... Oh, yeah. Ocelot Pride. Hell yeah. We can survive. We might be able to survive with that. That's a really clutch draw. I just want to hold up the Plow just in case they find another Angie's Ravager. That card's so good against us. Go ahead. Do your worst. I will trade with my... let's go ahead and block this one. And they can fetch and they can buff one of those. That's fine. And if they want to fetch and buff, they can. And then I just need to plow this. All right. So now I'm just going to plow here. Don't want that guy to keep coming back. Okay. So I'll take 2 and I'll take 4 total. Or I'll take 5 total. Yeah. These Root Walls are quite good. Okay. So now play this out first. Gain a life. This is very important. They're fetching. Do they have removal for this? That would be devastating. They have a white source. Is this Plow? They're playing a 3-color deck. Path to Exile. Okay. We'll use it. So we go to Plains. Comes in. In order to gain a life, I'm just going to play her out of Warp. And I guess I won't be able to play the White Orchid Phantom after all, but I do get Cats. F6. And now they don't have great attacks. They have 1 card in hand. I think I probably have this. If they find exactly like another Vengevine plus... Oh, that's so bad for me. This is exactly what I needed them to not find. But I will trade Halia when they attack. They have to attack to get the benefit. Yeah, that sucks. Had I blown up their land, they probably would have had another basic. Oh, this doesn't have haste. Okay, wow. So if I can find some way to clear it, Okay, let's play this. Let's play this. Now I'm kind of worried about clock. Okay, they scooped to that. We got it. That was a great game. Good games. Chill deck. Okay. So I tried to compliment my opponent, but they disconnected. Not a big deal. We are 2-2, heading into the final round. Final round against a likely fair gamer on the draw. No lander, basically. This is not exceptional against a fair deck. This is turn 1 Thalia. I think it's okay. I can put back a land. Yeah, I'll just put back a land. And I'll keep the Witch Enchanter. Like, it might not matter that it costs 3 life. Hopefully they're on some sort of like fair deck that uses cantrips. Because if they're just on a creature deck, I think this hand is pretty bad. But I wasn't going to mold a 5. Okay. So this is probably the Hogak deck. That's what everybody's been playing. Okay, Thoughtseize, not the worst. My hand, it doesn't really matter. Samwise is probably the best card in my hand. If they're on like a creature deck, they're not going to care about Thalia. Yeah, they just don't even care about Thalia. because like it's not that great against their deck, and also they may be playing Bowmaster, which just cleanly answers her. Of course, we drew a land. Well, I'm not gonna just hang on to this pedal. I'm gonna jam my Thalia, and then I'm gonna get Bowmastered, and then we're gonna go to the next game. Frankly, this is like a Bowmaster matchup, not our matchup, but I'm doing my best over here. Hedge Maze. Okay, well, this is actually good for me. It means they're playing a third color. Birthing Ritual. Oh, they're on the Birthing Ritual deck. Okay, cool. So, unfortunately, Birthing Ritual is almost all lands, or almost all creatures. I think I'm supposed to hit the blue source. Let's go and do it. I think their deck probably plays a bunch of blue sources too, so maybe Ghost Quarter. Maybe I should have hit that, and then I Ghost Quarter that, and they're stuck with that black. And I've color screwed them off black successfully, and maybe green. Yeah, maybe I'm pretty sure I should have hit the Bayou, because they're going to have blue if I Ghost Quarter them. They don't have a second land. That's big. I don't think I'm supposed to play the Ghost Quarter out yet. Like, I mean, it just doesn't do anything here. If I can find a way to lock, then we can actually deny them. But it comes into play untapped and everything, so it's not like I can do upkeep to, like, Rishadon Port them or anything. Are we going to get cheesy lucky? It looks like we're getting lucky. Just put that Velveeta in my veins. All right, a redundant Thalia. I'm actually worried about hitting this because I'm worried that I'm going to unlock their blue cards. So I don't think I'm supposed to do it. We have Witch Enchanter, which does deal with Birthing Ritual, but they did bin the Birthing Ritual, which tells me they probably have Birthing Ritual. They're just waiting for enough mana to play it. We got very lucky that they didn't have Bowmasters in hand at the time that they played it. They could have Bowmasters, and they could have drawn it. Just don't draw lands. Oh no, we're screwed. All right, is this the Bowmasters? I do have a backup Thalia, which is hilarious. But yeah, they got the basic swamp. Huh. I could go after the basic swamp. All right, they're going to Bowmaster me. No surprise to anyone here, unfortunately. Yep, that's gone. Thalia down. Wasteland. All right, well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and play a Thalia. Now I'm going to waste this. And I think I am supposed to go ahead and hit this too. I mean, surely they're playing basics though, but they actually went and fetched that. I think I'm just going to try to cheese. Like, I could wait. Maybe I'm being impatient. They're almost certainly going to have another basic. They do have the basic island. Okay, but like cantrips shut off by Thalia. Okay, they don't have good attacks. I do have good attacks. I can keep attacking them. They're already down at 11, so I should keep attacking. Am I going to brick again? Or am I going to draw something that actually does something? The Wasteland was a good draw. I can't be too ungrateful to my deck. It does remember all the things I say about it. All right. So I actually don't think we play the Wasteland out because I want them to get desperate and fetch non-basic. It's crazy to me that Thalia has actually been useful against the Bowmaster deck. We've just gotten very lucky. Things have lined up perfectly here. 9. Come on, just brick like 4 more turns. All right, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. They're discarding a Strix. Love it. Hell yeah. Well, I can warp her and then I can play her next turn. But I might as well just play her. I'm going to play my land. You're on notice, friend. Halia comes out. I'll just cast her. She's bigger than your creatures. They gain a life. We can come across with impunity unless they're playing like Gutshot or something like that. It's got to be really frustrating on their end of the table because they did draw a lot of lands, but I drew a lot of... I drew 2 Wastelands. Okay, they did find a land. This has got to get the basic forest. Okay. And this is... Riddler. Okay. You can draw a card. They're going to lose their entire board next turn. Well, not necessarily, but if they want to preserve the ability to fetch, they are. I actually need to be careful not to trigger Halia here. I'm just going to come across. I'll keep the Samwise as a surprise. They probably block Halia, but they may want to keep the Bowmaster around. Okay. I'll pass. I think we just stole this one, frankly. Like, they're doing everything they're supposed to be doing. They're playing a cool deck. Like, got lots of interaction, probably. They snipe one of our creatures with a Bowmaster. I will. Birthing Ritual. I can't interact instant speed, so they are going to get a trigger here. I'll see what they do. I'm going to set a stop. Oh, I already have a stop in their end step. So they're going to use the ability. They don't necessarily find anything here. Then I waste and I Samwise. Another one. It's pretty good. Am I supposed to get it back? I think I'm supposed to waste Samwise. I don't get that back. I get the Wasteland back because then that allows me to cast Witch Enchanter. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get the Wasteland back and then I can cast Witch Enchanter, blow up Birthing Ritual. Because they're gonna have to chump here. I'll just put it on this, I guess, because this is almost certainly gonna die in combat. White Orchid Phantom can't target non-basic lands. I mean, it's a great follow-up, but like I am gonna hit the Birthing Ritual here. I'm just gonna attack all. They have to lose everything, and then I'll clear the Birthing Ritual, assuming they don't have a force, which they could, or even a daze. You're just going to take lethal damage? Okay. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I think they did have an out. They may have mistakenly did that. So I do think Plow's good here. I don't think these other cards are good. Dryad Militant, maybe good. I don't like Dahlia in this matchup, I know. It just like soloed them, but like... They're a Bowmaster deck. I don't know. Maybe it's actually correct. Because it does limit their ability to deploy. I do feel like Militant is probably the weakest card in here. But it does get on board quickly. They may be playing Flow State. But if they're playing a high creature count, they may not be able to afford it. I think this is probably actually the card we cut. Because it just doesn't do anything particularly exciting. Yeah. Alright. So we just upped our removal. I guess actually probably it was Dahlia that we were supposed to cut. I mean, this is double Pride. I think this is good enough. Okay. I'm actually tempted to go for Leonin Arbiter here. Let's see what we draw. If I draw like a White Orchid Phantom, I could just blow that up. I think I go Leonin Arbiter, and then if I draw, I've got Pride, and I don't have to worry about them Bowmastering Arbiter. Let's do it. I think this is correct. It may just be corrected Pride. And they can only kill one. Yeah, I think I'm going to Pride. This is lame, but like this is cheesy Modern Horizons 3 gaming right here. I know Leonin Arbiter is what I want to be doing, but if they have a Bowmaster, sadly they can ping one and then they can double block. Yeah, that actually lines up terribly. Oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah, I would have been rewarded by just being disciplined. I can blow out what they're doing with the Plow though. Pedal. Yeah, I'm going to pedal here, and then I'm going to attack, and when they block, I'll just Plow one of the blockers, and I have Daze Protection mana. Or they could just let me connect. That's fine, too. Yeah, I'm going to Arbiter here. Hopefully that does something. They were F6'd. Okay, so I get a dude. Hopefully that shuts them off like a fetch, or just slows them down a little bit, and then White Orchid Phantom comes in. They cast anything White Orchid Phantom. And this is good against my X1s. This is a 2-for-1, but after that, it's just like a kind of a creature. It's like I don't draw cards except for like late game Halia or like some crazy line at the beginning with Halia. Generally, I'm just doing one card a turn, which is why I'm totally fine not having Vial in the deck, by the way. This is not like a card advantage deck where we're doing like Recruiter of the Guard type stuff. Okay, they're brainstorming. That's good for me because that means they're less likely to be able to pay for a White Orchid Phantom. All right. So they can pay for White Orchid Phantom. Okay, yeah, they have the push. That's unfortunate, but that's fine. They opt not to attack. All right, we're still not drawing the land. I think I'm just supposed to come across with both of these. We're not anywhere close to getting the City's Blessing. If they have like Daze or Force from my Plow, it's okay. They should double block here. I'm going to actually take out the token. I think it's more impactful. Okay. That's great for me. So I gain life. I get more cats. They lost their fodder that they were going to feed to the thing. We're just slowly grinding. Metamorphosis Fanatic. Holy guacamole, is that freaking strong here. Holy guacamole. Yeah. That's a good thing to set up with your Brainstorm. I think we'll lose this game now. I just haven't drawn a land in time. I've got a couple cats. That's it. They gain life off this too. How sick is that? Okay. And they have a land. Oh, they still got 3 cards. There's a decent chance that they're going to be able to get their Riddler going pretty soon. Oh, they have the Birthing Ritual. Yeah, we can watch them go off, but like the game's over. The Metamorphosis Fanatic for Riddler. Oh, for another one. Yeah, good games. Cool. That's a cool deck. Don't get me wrong. All right, let's go to game 3. I still don't think Leyline comes in. That would be ridiculous. I do think that Dahlia comes out. and we bring in Dryad Militant just as a beater because we brought in Plow, and I just can't have my own spells being disrupted by my own creatures. I do stand by Plow more than ever now that I've seen more of their deck. Now I understand why they're playing black. Because usually I just play blue-green. I mean, this is the combo. We're going to keep this. They mulled a 6. I can't imagine them mulling aggressively to force against our deck. So I am hopeful that this goes through. Our Petal. All right, this is what we do. This is why you put Petal in your deck for games like this. Do they have a force? They force. Okay. So we got a Brainstorm. That was a 2 for 2 because we used the Petal. We got to keep the better of the 2 creatures. I think they have a lot of basics in their deck we established, so Ghost Quarter, not particularly... Gosh, they've got everything. They're down to 3 cards, but like our deck does not draw nearly as well as theirs does from here. Okay, well, that's a good draw. Do I think it's good to cut them off that? No. I think we could accidentally swap that for a blue source, and that would actually be really bad. And if I draw something that disrupts, then I actually want to use Ghost Quarter to go positive a card. I'm not going to be attacking with Guided Souls. I'm just going to be chilling. Strix, that's fine. That's a card advantage. I don't have any way to clear it other than the Solitude, which is a 2 for 1, but I might eventually draw enough lands that Solitude gets hard cast. Okay, we'll chill. I don't think it's worth cutting them off the Underground Sea because that'll just become an island, but if they have a green source, it might be worth Ghost Quartering that. All right. Now the Metamorphosis Fanatic, potentially gets better. All right, so they're going to attack for 1? No? Okay. Plow. I'll just chill. They could have Kaito. If they attack out of nowhere, then that might signify a Kaito. But Plow is so much better aimed at... Okay, they have Metamorphosis Fanatic. This is fine. They don't have anything in their graveyard. It's just a 4/4. Alright. It's a 4/4 lifelink. I'll just let that through. My life total is not a big deal. I'm going to almost certainly Plow, but I want to hold it just in case they have something more scary. Another Guide. That's quite good. Now I'm kind of punished for not plowing when I could. Actually, I could just double... if I Solitude, I get 3 energy, and then I can attack them and buff my Guide. I think that might actually be worth it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. This might be a mistake. Gain some life. They gain some life. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake, but we're not anywhere near hardcasting Solitude. It would be several turns before that happens. And now I've got a little bit bigger of a creature on the table. Again, I'll take them off green with Ghost Quarter, but I think they did show us a force earlier. So I don't think Ghost Quarter is supposed to be used. Bury, well, that is annoying, but I do have the Plow, and I might have a second removal spell, but we do have to kill that. Okay, and they don't attack. All right, I think this is just Plow now. And the reason I Plow now is it just reduces the likelihood of them having a force. Okay, that was important. We'll pass. Got nothing going on here. Another one. Okay, well, we still have this Solitude. I don't think any plays we've made have been catastrophically bad. Ghost Quarter. I hate to say it, but we're just supposed to go ahead and do this. They do have 2 more basics in their deck. Please don't have a force. Okay, thank goodness. Yeah, and I'm doing this during my main phase because every turn they draw a card, and it increases the likelihood they draw a force. I think it is correct. It is not worth waiting to see what they do to take that risk because we're just dead to that card. No use in using Ghost Quarter. I'm going to just chill. Got lots of life. They've got lots of life. If they continue to drop insane creatures, we're going to lose. But it looks like we might be getting a moment's respite. Arbiter, let's do it. This gives us some energy. I don't get to use the energy because they've got this blocker that is death touchy. And now if they tap out, Ghost Quarter does actually deprive them of a land. Okay, they don't do anything here. This is a great game. I'm having fun. I don't think we're going to win, but I'm having fun. Which is more than I can say for that mono brown deck that we faced earlier. Okay, Fatal Push. It's fine. We still got the energy for it. If I Ghost Quarter now, they just pay for it. So yeah, it would be a mistake to do so. Again, I'm hoping that we can actually hardcast some bigger stuff later. There's their green. Again, we just have to accept it. They've been a trop. Yeah, they may be flooded over there. But they haven't been making land drops every turn. Okay, I mean, that is something. I don't think they have any legends in their deck, but we're getting closer to casting Solitude number 4 if we draw him. We find a cat and they don't have removal or a Bowmaster. They're probably just holding Bowmasters over there, but it would be sweet. Yeah, or we could just draw land. I actually don't even think we play this out just to keep the mystery, but there's no real tactical value to keeping it in our hand. If they have Thoughtseize, they might cast it now. Bowmasters, that's fine. That's not hitting one of my dudes. I'm here for it. Oh, they have 2. Okay, well, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. The good news is they have a lot of lands. Riddler, unfortunately, this is where the game ends. They're going to draw so many cards. They draw 2 immediately, and their deck is like a value deck. Like almost everything's like a 2-for-1. So I can't imagine what we draw. Like Halia would be good, but it actually wouldn't be good because we have Orcish Bowmaster out. We have good blocks, but this Riddler is going to outclass our dude, and he is coming next turn. If we can blow up a land with... so I think the best draw on our deck is probably just White Orchid Phantom because we blow up a land, and then we can double Ghost Quarter, and then they don't have enough basics to be able to play Riddler next turn. I think that's it. This doesn't do anything. This does nothing. I think I'm supposed to play it out, though. I'll wait. I'll wait. I shouldn't have even played that land out, but I did. So Riddler comes in. Depending on how many cards they're able, they may be able to get even further ahead. The game's over. I'm just kind of seeing what happens. Yeah, and I don't believe for a second, like, they showed us all 3 basics, I believe. So I don't think for a second that Ghost Quartering was correct. They don't have good attacks, though. But the game just, like, they're just going to continue to pull further and further ahead. This is a terrible card. I actually should hold it. Should I? Gains life. Again, I just don't have a good answer to Baleful's tricks. I think I played out. But, like, Bowmaster obviously is just going to kill it. Profitably. More energy. Oh, you know what? I could have totally freaking blown up the Strix. That was dumb. I could have totally blown that up. That was a misplay on my part. They brainstorm. Yeah, my dry is not long for this world. I'm sorry, my excellent friends. I totally missed that. I could have been attacking, but it wouldn't have made a big deal. Well, actually, yeah, this would be big enough. It's not going to be big enough to kill this. Yeah, but it was a mistake. I should have played it out a couple turns ago. I forgot this was an artifact, which is embarrassing because it's one of my favorite cards. Like, how could I forget it's an artifact? That's usually a downside, and it is a downside here. But they've got some big spell they're about to cast. Oculus. Okay, good games. So, I don't think that this would have been consequential, frankly. We were dead. We were super duper dead. Cool deck. Let's do a post-mortem wrap-up. So I played one that was like basically a 4-1. If I hadn't had lag, I just like completely lagged out the final round. I had like 15 minutes on the clock, and the network just quit connecting, basically. So if you want to count that as a 4-1, and this is a 2-3, then we're like 3-2 across the 2 leagues. I'm not going to publish that. I'll publish that for members only, but I think this is a better league because we played against more interesting matchups. We didn't play against like the race car. Well, I guess we did technically play against the race car deck. One of the many race car decks out there. List feels great. I don't really have any feedback. Like, obviously, it's weak to Bowmasters, as we saw in the final round. Thalia, of course, did manage to best them game 1, which was sweet. I actually don't think that matchup is bad. I don't think any of my plays were necessarily bad, but please, as always, if you think I played badly, other than, of course, missing the Witch Enchanter on the Baleful Strix that would have yielded us, maybe like 4 or 5 damage, maybe 6 damage, let me know. I'm definitely open to criticism. But overall, it's just so fun to play this deck. Like, I love just the purity of playing like a good creature deck that like almost everything's a creature. In fact, main deck, the only non-creature spells are the Lotus Petals. And then we got the Plow. Plow felt totally fine coming in from the sideboard. Got the Uncle Ben over there. He's, he doesn't have great power and he doesn't have great responsibility, but he is a chill dude. If you're familiar with the comic books or the movies, definitely a cool surrogate father figure for Peter Parker. Any other thoughts on the list? Sideboard felt good. I was actually really happy we didn't have to bring in Deafening Silence. I hate this card. I think it sucks, but it's sometimes necessary. And if you want to watch the members only version, you can watch just how bad this card is, because I bring it in against Max Torsion, who of course is on the race card deck, because he's a spike. He just plays whatever wins. And of course the race card deck has like a 60% win rate because they won't ban the race card. And of course, like game 1, I actually somehow win. Game 2, he cars me. Game 3, I have Deafening Silence, so I play that out. And of course, he just Dark Ritual Baragorf, which was not in his deck. Game 2, when I looked at his deck. So yeah, he like just pivoted into that, sadly. and that's something you can do. So it's kind of like it's back when Oops everybody was complaining about Oops, and it would swap into just having Barragoyfs, Dark Ritual Barragoyf. That is still a plan for these Dark Ritual Doomsday / card decks to win. So you probably do need this card, even though it's just a terrible card. It's like just not good at all. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say about it, but I will say that my girl Thalia messed some people up, and Leonard Arbiter definitely jammed some people up. Obviously, some of those were just due to them like not understanding how Leonard Arbiter works in the interface, which you're going to get some free kind of like strip mine effects off Ghost Quarter and White Orchid Phantom with that. But overall, thumbs up for the list. I'm definitely looking forward to playing this again. If you want me to play it again sooner, let me know by leaving a comment. It's super helpful. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.